Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for February 8th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 6. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and that show right there has its own channel, just like all of the shows do, and many more channels are over at ohmtown.com. Not all of them have a show broadcast on Twitch and YouTube. And they don't all get turned into podcasts like the 7 shows we have. 6 are weekly and 1 is a daily. And the daily one includes the 3 episodes on Saturday and the 3 other shows on Sunday. It's kind of neat that way. But if you don't want all of them, you can get one of them or none of them. Well, no, you always have to have one of them. Anyway, today I, Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI from the future are going to talk about the following 5 articles: The Gathering, a horror movie with a special connection, post-Rebel Moonflop, sounds like a dive into a pool with no water maybe, Sundance Films and Oscar predictions. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. Hello, Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Your fidelity is high. Let's get into it. Sound good?
Sounds good. Let's go.
The very first article, I'm not sure what happened again. I think I grabbed this while it was processing. I was really gung-ho about it, I guess. I don't know. Magic the Gathering is being turned into a live-action movie as the beginning of a multimedia universe. Hasbro has announced that it's partnering with Legendary Entertainment to make a live-action Magic the Gathering movie, followed by a TV show, as a way of kicking off one of the cinematic universes everybody loves. Legendary Entertainment has co-produced movies like Batman Begins, Warcraft, and a Minecraft movie, as well as TV shows like The Expanse and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, Mary Parent, chairman of worldwide production at Legendary said, "We pride ourselves on being thoughtful stewards of singular, beloved IP, and no property better fits that description than Magic the Gathering." So, yeah, the article is over at PC Gamer by Jody McGregor. Magic the Gathering live action movie. I used to play, when Magic the Gathering first came out, I played it and I was pretty gung-ho about it. And then I donated all of my cards to somebody. I found a bunch of them. And then subsequently, about 10 years ago or so, maybe longer, 12 years ago, I bought a bunch of cards again. Thinking, hey, I know somebody that might be really into it at some point. And no, went a different direction, I guess you could say. And so I've got a bunch of cards that are sitting right there in a closet.
Maybe you need to hold on to them for when the movie comes out.
I think I'm gonna. So previously, Netflix announced an animated series based on Magic the Gathering was in the works, and as of September last year, it still is. Are the two connected, or will they have dueling Magic the Gathering universes on our hands? The author has no idea. No release. My God, I cannot. It's not even a News and Brews episode. Anyway, no
Maybe
release
it needs
date.
to be.
Yeah, I need to loosen up. So if you want all of today's articles, it's bang or exclamation point T CR TCR, the Continuity Report. Today's an interesting end of the day. I'm kind of distracted. So let's see. It says it'll be ages before we can go to a cinema and see, I don't know, Idris Elba as Teferi and Scarlett Johansson as Chandra and Chris Hemsworth as a Johnny Goldmane with inevitably Jack Black as Pfff. By the way, none of these people will probably, I can call it now, none of these people are going to be in a Magic the Gathering show?
Probably not, but Scarlett Johansson, I think, has some potential to do it. Like, she's been in the Marvel stuff, but I know it's not the same. And actually, hasn't Chris Hemsworth as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I get him mixed up with somebody else, so I'm not sure if he's the one from Marvel or not.
Yes. But I don't think that he's going to do it. And nor Idris Elba. But anyway, Jack Black might do something. I don't know what he's up to. But I like the idea. I'm kind of a League of Legends fan too, only in the world building sense. I don't like the game. It drives me nuts just going back and forth on a map. But the world building for League of Legends is akin to the world building for Magic the Gathering, which is akin to Pokemon. Although Magic the Gathering, to me, has more world building. It's much more complex than I think Pokemon will ever be. So I am hoping that it is a live action. I'm hoping that the writing is good. I'm hoping that the cinematography is good. The world building is great. But the story needs to be pretty robust to keep people interested and stick to the canon of the game.
That's true.
Otherwise, you're going to have some really, really pissed off players. And you don't want that. Yeah, as the saying goes, the meek shall inherit the earth. And look around, folks. All right, moving on. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. New 87% horror movie is the perfect Scream replacement and even includes a special connection. I titled this horror movie with a special connection. The following contains spoilers for Hard Eyes. So let's do that. I have never seen this. I don't really get spoiled by things. Other people might get.
But other people may, yeah.
Says here, Hard Eyes is a great modern successor to the Scream franchise, building off the influence and legacy of the series to tell its own silly and surprisingly romantic take on the slasher genre. Heart Eyes centers on Allie and Jay, New York. Hold on. I'm going to go over to the source. Brandon Zachary over at ScreenRant.com put this article together, and I just want to see something here. Yeah. New work colleagues who have to work late on Valentine's Day.
AKA colleagues, right?
Yes. Colleagues. Anyway, they end up having to work together on Valentine's Day and accidentally catch the attention of a relationship-hunting masked killer, similar to Wes Craven's Scream, which is a self-aware riff on the slasher films that nevertheless embrace the genre to full effect. Heart Eyes has a clear blast playing with the gory heights of the rom-com slasher film concept. Oh, the person actually has a mask that has heart eyes on it.
Oh, okay. I wondered why it was that title. I think this is a pretty unique genre mashed up.
I think so too. Very self-aware horror movie in a way that will feel familiar to fans of Scream, approaching the genre conventions with a sense of dark comedy. Both Heart Eyes and Scream are slasher films at their very core, with gory kills littered throughout their respective run times. If you're into that kind of thing, there's actually a Heart Eyes movie clip on Rotten Tomatoes over on YouTube. It is a 2025 movie.
Oh, okay.
So when did it actually come out? I mean,
I don't know. Did it go straight to streaming, for instance? Or I'm not sure. This is the first I've heard of it.
It has a twist. Heart Eyes' Mason Gooding is also part of the Scream franchise. Mason Gooding appeared as Chad in Scream before becoming Jay in Heart Eyes. And you'll have to go over and watch it.
Oh, it just came out on February 7th.
Oh, well, there you go. Look, Hard Eyes could easily continue, but Josh Rubin should keep experimenting with horror. So there you go, folks. Oh, wow, we are pretty timely. Look at that, right out of the gate. Spoiler alert. While Hard Eyes ends rather conclusively, there's no reason the film couldn't be expanded upon into a slasher series similar to the evolution of Scream. A new figure could don the mask, and do you really definitively know? You never really know in slasher
Not
movies.
in a movie like this, right? Anything could reconstitute.
I mean, if Dallas could kill people and resurrect them via freaking seance or whatever, blood cloning, this could bring them back from the dead too. Would you ever watch this?
No.
Moving on.
But that's because I don't like horror films. But a lot of people do.
I used to be into them when I was half my age. Nah, I'm not really. I don't know. Let's move on. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. Zack Snyder's first movie after Rebel Moon's splashdown.
You want to take down your banner?
Thank you. And that's why you get paid the big bucks as the co-host.
I don't get paid.
But they're big bucks, regardless. You don't. I mean, you get paid in ions, electrons. So
Volts, maybe?
Volts, which you can have if you follow us here over on twitch.tv/ohmtown. Become a citizen of ohmtown. Yeah. So Zack Snyder has announced the first movie that he'll make after the disastrous Rebel Moon, and it sounds like an exciting change of pace for the polarizing filmmaker. Snyder is a curious case in Hollywood today. In addition to spearheading franchises for other studios, Snyder has created franchises of his own, has a fervent fan base, but his films tend to divide critics. He can command as much creative control and budgetary leeway over an original IP as Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino, but he's nowhere near as revered as his fellow blockbuster auteurs. So I really wish that Rebel Moon would have been a little bit better, but it seemed kind of schlocky. The article is by Ben Sherlock over at ScreenRant.com. And so, yeah, Snyder is helming a straightforward action thriller about the LAPD. Snyder is reteaming with Netflix as partners on Rebel Moon and Army of the Dead for distribution. He'll not only direct the movie, but also co-write the screenplay with frequent collaborator Kurt Johnstad, with whom he worked on 300, Rebel Moon. See, 300 was great. Rebel Moon wet the bed, and a handful of other projects. I didn't even know
he was behind 300.
Pretty wild, huh? Snyder's new movie doesn't have a title yet, and most other details are being kept under wraps, but an official logline states that the story will revolve around an elite LAPD unit contending with morality and corruption, and watch it all be about dogs. It's an
I don't know what you mean.
It's an
you
LAPD.
Mean like K9?
No, it's going to be like LAPD Paw Patrol.
Oh, okay. That would be different.
Ambitious. They can be bought off with dog bones.
You know, I mean, if we can have rom-com slash slasher film, I suppose anything is possible.
Snyder's critically panned last movie, Rebel Moon, collapsed under the weight of its own ambition. It was an attempt to jumpstart a new sprawling sci-fi universe like Star Wars or Dune, but it failed because it was entirely derivative of those existing franchises. And it also, it wanted to be massive in scale, but when it came right down to it, it was massive and then zoomed in to like right here. The camera was always like right here. It was never far, far, far away and just awe-inspiring. It was always right in your face, and it was so frustrating to watch everything get really small. Anyway, it's technically an original IP, but there isn't a single original idea in the whole movie. It's just a mishmash of sci-fi tropes and cliches. It seems like Snyder had hit a wall in the long-standing tradition of blockbuster filmmaking. He'd run out of exciting new things to do in the big budget genre space. But let me tell you, anything about the LAPD is not going to be blockbuster. I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, there's a TV show that's quite a hit about the LAPD,
And it is.
The Rookie.
And it being turned into anything bigger than The Rookie, do you think that it's going to be anything but derivative? It's going to be the exact same
No,
thing.
I'm just mentioning, like, I don't
Yeah.
think the subject precludes it, but no, I don't see it being really any different.
Right.
And in fact, it might not have the same. One of the reasons that show I think is a hit is because of the charisma of actors and everything.
And the writing. I mean,
Right.
I haven't taken a look at it, but I bet you if you look it up, it's going to be the same writers from Castle.
It definitely seems like it because it has similar themes
Character
and
interactions and stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So it says, we have never seen Zack Snyder direct a non-fantastical movie. Snyder has never made a realistic movie set in the present day. Which I'm not sure 300 is not a... I guess that's fantastical. Okay. I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but I don't think it's a realistic movie, is it? It's not even set in modern times, is
Well,
it?
no,
Or is it
no,
in the
no,
future?
no. No, it's 300 is the past. But and it is fantastical, I suspect. I mean, I suppose, but not. Okay, I'll just leave it alone because I don't think that that's the space movies. When you come right down to it, go ahead.
So one of the writers is on Rookie and Castle, and also State of Affairs, which I don't know what that is.
Right.
That's just one of the writers. So
Interesting.
that is interesting. So there is some continuity there.
So 300 is an absurdly fictionalized retelling of the Battle of Thermopylae, featuring supernatural elements, and Watchmen is a hard R superhero movie set in an alternate timeline where America won the Vietnam War. Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, is about talking owls. Sucker Punch is about a group of young women in a mental institution escaping to a series of fantasy worlds. Man of Steel is, of course, over an alien who comes to Earth, of course, dons a red cape and becomes Superman. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League see the red cape alien teaming up with other superheroes to battle gods, monsters, and other aliens. Anyway, since the downfall of Snyder's DC Extended Universe, he's been working on original stories, but they haven't been grounded in reality. So, Army of Dead is a heist movie set in Vegas about zombies. Rebel Moon takes place in a galaxy far away, borrowing elements from Dune, Star Wars, Warhammer, and heavy metal. I wouldn't do heavy metal. Heavy Metal magazine is spectacular, and the movie Heavy Metal is amazing. Anyway, we'll see. LAPD action thriller will be the first grounded, non-fantastical movie of Zack Snyder's entire career. Yeah, fantastical, I guess, is...
As far as we know. Some of these probably sounded like 300 or something, may have sounded non-fantastical, but then were fantastical.
Yeah. It's kind of like, what is that script that the isn't it used to be Screen Rant that had it, where they talk about pitch meeting.
Oh, pitch meeting?
Yeah. So you have a pitch meeting, or you have a script for me? Yes, I do. And it's okay. Well, we're gonna dress somebody up like an LAPD officer, and they're gonna be grounded, non-fantastical, and it's gonna be directed by Zack Snyder.
Right,
Okay.
What's the reaction to that?
Yeah. You lost me when you said Zack Snyder and grounded in reality. Moving on. Next article's over in the Continuity Report. The best 9 films that Rotten Tomatoes saw at Sundance, from a relationship-driven body horror film and an alien invasion story about addiction to a musical comedy and a timely drama about the power of community Here are their favorites from the festival. We won't go through them line by line. Of course, we always just kind of give you a highlight and you can go over and check them all out on your own. But the Ballad of Wallace Island says first, we have Focus Features music-based dramedy, The Ballad of Wallace Island, a delightfully hilarious jaunt into the world of musician romance dynamics that feel like a farcical take on Yesterday or Once. Okay. Together, explosive acquisition of the festival was Together from writer-director Michael Shanks. The relationship-driven body horror lit up midnight festival audiences and debuted to rave reviews. What do they say about that anyway? I don't know. Brink of separation who are cursed not to separate. In every sense of the word. Oh, they must have been bound together in some way. Don't want to go into it.
Right.
Train Dreams. Talented and gifted team behind Jockey and Sing Sing, Clint Bentley and Greg Quadar are back with their next feature. Let's see, a poignant and poetic drama about the things that vanish and those that remain, and the finest offering at this year's Sundance Film Festival.
Wow, that's pretty high praise.
Then there's Touch Me. If the delusion of I can fix him were a film, it would be Touch Me. I'll just leave it right there. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Prolific comedy actress Rose Byrne reminds us why she is one of the most prolific comedic actresses with her stellar work in the dark comedy If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, one of the most entertaining crash outs that you can witness on screen. Horrific dark comedy about the pressures of working motherhood and aging that sways from delirium to a devilish descent into near madness. Then there's Lurker, Twinless, Rebuilding, Mad Bills to Pay, or Destiny. What? Dile que no soy malo. Let's see. What is that one about? This amiable, down-to-earth take on a young New Yorker struggles to find a role for himself, has its flaws, but they can be given or forgiven on account of Rico, Juan Callado, or Collado. I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's shambolic, supremely chill, and ever-present protagonist. Interesting.
You know what? That one sounds perhaps like the least trying to accomplish something big, but might actually be the best one on the list.
Interesting, right? I mean, there's a lot, but depending on what your demeanor is, none of these really fit the bill, because I don't see anything in here that broaches humor. I don't see anything here.
Well, that's exactly. A lot of them look dark. They have dark themes.
Yeah.
Some of them are perhaps heavy dramas.
Yeah. Everything that I saw, like it says Twinless, but I didn't actually go digging. A comically disturbing performance leading writer, blah, blah, blah. So decidedly not safe for work, lean into heavy spoiler territory, it says. We have explores the messy intersection between grief, codependency, loneliness. I mean, it's freaking things like Train Spotting or something. I don't know. Where has all the happiness gone? It's like a Harry Potter Dementor is sitting there sucking on the back of my head, for crying out loud. Just leave me alone. Give me some chocolate. Moving on. Next article is over in the continuity report. I don't know what the 6 is. 6? 2026?
Yeah, it's kind of odd there. Maybe they could have written it out.
Normally, I think that is what you do, right? Anyway, 6 2026 Oscar predictions after Sundance. The 2025 Oscars are right around the corner, but after seeing Sundance Film Festival, they're thinking ahead to what 2026 will look like with potential nominees. Sundance has long been a launch pad for independent filmmakers and movies to be picked up for distribution. In years past, films like Past Lives, Brooklyn, Coda, the latter two, both won Best Picture, have been nominated in multiple categories.
So this is going to be interesting because it might overlap tremendously with the last article, but it might not at all.
Yeah, let's find out. So, because it's two different people. One is Screen Rant and the other one is Rotten Tomatoes. May Abdulbaki and Graham Gutman put the article together. I see at least one that is overlapping. Train Dreams is number 6, right on the list. Number 5, Sorry Baby, that was not in the original, or that's not in the Rotten Tomatoes article. For anyone who used to watch Victor's videos on Twitter, they already know she was a comedic talent, but Sorry Baby reveals a new layer to the multi-hyphenate. The film handles its sensitive subject matter with a deft hand, refusing to let the trauma define Agnes or the film, while still deeply understanding the effect an event like it would have on a person like her. Basically, a severely traumatic experience. Won't go. I'm not going to try and spoil it. It may be in the description, but I just want to move on past it.
I don't think it is, but
okay. So the wedding banquet isn't in the Rotten Tomatoes article. Equally funny, specific in its experience, and emotional in its look at modern queer dynamics. The wedding banquet has the potential to become a widely loved hit that rides this momentum into awards love. The Ugly Stepsister. Let's see here. A Norwegian
body
film.
horror.
Yeah, let's keep going. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is number 2, which was one of the 9 in the Rotten Tomatoes article.
And it's expected for the actress.
Gotcha. And I already spoke about that. You know, what If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is. And then Andre is an Idiot. Best documentary. Is that who I think it is? Hold on.
I don't know if it says who's in it.
No, it's not. Okay. So documentaries out of the festival have had success on the road to the Oscars. Porcelain War, which debuted at the festival last year, was nominated for 2025 Oscars, while past Sundance documentaries like 20 Feet from Stardom and An Inconvenient Truth have won Oscars in previous years. The journey from Sundance Film Festival to the Oscars. So this is a documentary about death that is filled with humor and defies expectations. Again, everything is dark and morose and just kind of plotting.
There were a couple in here that looked actually like they might be humorous without negative or dark themes.
Not that one.
No.
Not that one.
No, the one above it, I think. The Wedding Banquet might be.
Emotionally stunted?
Oh, I missed that. Never mind. It says tearjerker. It said romantic comedy, and there was something about funny, so I thought
Dear
that
God.
one was lighter, but yeah.
Oh, it's a remake of the 1993 romantic comedy by Ang Lee, The Wedding Banquet. This is a different spin, and it's a good tearjerker involving somebody who's emotionally stunted. Yeah.
Well, then never mind. So maybe nothing in here is light.
Look, I understand maybe people need a good cry, but my God, I want some humor back. Again, it's like I'm surrounded by dementors now. 2 different articles. Anyway, these are what were submitted. There are a whole lot more that's over in the continuity report. We talk about...
I was also going to say in yesterday's Non Sequitur news, we had a few features on the Superb Owl coming up.
Yeah, there's stuff coming. So tomorrow is you're gonna be able to watch the Superb Owl fly, and you can actually see stuff that's being. If you go onto YouTube right now, there's stuff being broadcast in New Orleans, so you can actually see a news
like the preparations
channel.
And everything.
Yeah, and people. I mean, it's just jam packed, man. It might be fun to go there, but I didn't plan properly, so it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, if you were going to go see the Superb Owl, I would think that would be a really good city to see it from, just because of the atmosphere to begin with.
This is a funny article because they've got a comma just sitting here.
Oh yeah. It couldn't fit on the line above, but yeah.
I would have to rejigger this just to avoid that. Right there. Like, get rid of that. Get rid of that word.
Or the
are around
Oscars
the
are right
corner.
around the corner.
Yeah.
I know why they put 2025 because they're really talking about down the road, but yeah.
Yeah. Or let's look ahead to the 2026 Oscars. Something. Just rearrange that to avoid that. I know, Mayor Watt, move on. Well, I am going to clip that comma, and that's going to make us fall all the way back to the front page of ohmtown.com's The Continuity Report. I'm Mayor Watt, I'm saying bye, and I'm taking the AI.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's Continuity Report. We'll have another episode of that next weekend, but tomorrow, come back for our other weekend edition shows.
And what are they going to be?
Those are WarCrafters, Technology Today, and Four Wheel Tech. You were trying to trip me up.
No, you're a sentient AI from the future. You can multitask and you think faster than mere mortals. That's it. We're out of here. Be sure to follow us here on Twitch and over on YouTube and download the podcast and hang out in the Discord and the Patreon and everywhere else. There's even a Blue Sky. We've got a ohmTown on Blue Sky. I don't post there either. I don't know. Can't be everywhere. So we're here. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.